to have an interlocked device on his vehicle. So every time before he could get that vehicle started up, he has to blow. Just because mom says dad's an alcoholic. Isn't that some bull crap? I think it is. These judges need to follow the rule of evidence. I am tired of these litigants talking crap out of their behind, and these judges fall for it. Because they like that attorney. These attorneys, the corrupt ones, are excellent storytellers. They tell you a freaking story you can't believe, and you're the judge, you just warmed up to it. You're probably thinking about that campaign contribution next election, or hosting your party, or whatever. Maybe you're friends with that attorney on the side. It's disgusting. It really is. We need to do something about that. Judges need to follow rule of evidence. Same thing in Bryce Duckworth's courtroom. He's been holding litigants as vexatious litigants. Why? Because these litigants are filing motions and filing motions because they want their kids. And they say, well, they're lying in their motions. But what about these attorneys that file 200-300 pages of legal briefings and motions and constantly challenging the opposing sides? How come we don't call them vexatious attorneys and get some sanctions on them as well? Why are we always beating up the pro se litigants that are trying to get their kid? And one thing I cannot understand is a pro se litigant who cannot afford an attorney, by the way, get hit with opposing parties' attorney's fees. My God, if you can't afford an attorney, how are you supposed to pay for opposing parties' attorney? It's just disgusting the way these judges treat these pro se litigants. You know, I think, I'm sure you would agree, I think that, you know, we have a right to the 7th Amendment. The 7th Amendment has guaranteed us a jury trial. I think to eliminate some of these problems with these judges having these God complex and making these harsh rulings and don't read crap and jump to conclusions, I think that there should be jury trials in family court. There is no jury box in any of these family courtrooms. Have anybody asked themselves why? And you know, these attorneys, they will jump up because it's harder to win by a jury than to win by a judge that you've been giving campaign donations to and your buddy sucking up to him or her. So these attorneys, oh, it's going to cost the litigants more money to get a jury trial. Yeah, at the beginning. But you know something? In the long run, it won't. In the long run, it won't, because I've seen litigants who have been in and out the courtroom for 10, 12 years. The child was an infant, now the child's graduating high school and still going through a freaking custody battle. Sad, but true. It's sad. You know, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different results. Look, trial by judge in family court is not working. We need a jury trial. And you know, we need to give litigants a choice and say to them, trial by a judge or trial by jury. You pick. And if they can't decide, then it's trial by jury. Simple. Take it out of the hands of the judge. Judge only inflicts sentencing. Because this stuff is not working, folks. It sure is not working. And these children, you know, Some of these kids are very educated, but yet they don't have a voice in family court. I think 12, 13, and 14-year-olds and up should have a voice. Should say, hey, I want to live with mom. Or, hey, I want to live with dad. Of course you're going to visit the other parent, but I want to live with mom or I want to live with dad. What is wrong with that? Oh, whoa, I know what's wrong with that. That's taking the power away from the judge and taking the fees away from these attorneys. That's what's wrong with that. That's why these children don't have a voice. It's all about money and power. Money and power. Don't give these kids a voice. What do they know? You're the adult, right? Some of these kids don't want to live with the other parent because of fear. Not because dad wants them to do their homework. You know, it has to be a legitimate reason why a child don't want to live with a parent. Not because dad or mom is strict and have you do your homework and have you go to dance recitals and have you go to bed at a certain time and have you not hang out with that bad boy or that bad girl or have you not hang out with those gang bangers or whatever. It has to be a legitimate reason. Why can't we adopt something like that? What's the harm besides losing money and power? Oh, my God. There's got to be 50-50 custody. You know, if there's 50-50 custody, there should be no need for child support. You know? And you know what's amazing is this. You got one parent making 6 figures. Another parent is living paycheck by paycheck. But the parent that's living paycheck by paycheck has to pay child support to the parent that's living in luxury. Oh, that makes a lot of sense to me. You know, I had a police officer, LVMPD officer that's going through family court, came to me and says, Steve, I've given my wife everything, my ex-wife everything she wants. The judge has me pay alimony, has me pay child support. I'm still maintaining the mortgage on the house. And I have to pay utilities in the house to boot. How am I going to live? I got rent too. And you do that to people, especially a police officer. You're going to push these guys to be on the take. You're going to push these guys to be criminals. Do you think about the repercussions of your actions? You push people in a box like that, they're going to explode. We're all human. Why do anybody want to do that? I don't understand sometimes. I really don't. And when they have these third-party entities, these guardian ad litems and psychiatrists and counselors and therapists and who's a dinger and, you know, we're going to get that person a job, involve them in your case. And, you know, I think that a lot of these things, a lot of these third-party entities should at least be covered by the litigant's insurance carrier. Instead of the litigants paying out of pocket all these ridiculous costs, especially for a psychiatrist, $10,000 sometimes each. No, it should be covered by your insurance. And if it's covered by your insurance, then that's the one you use. Why are we raping these litigants for? Why are we so hung up about taking their money? You know, if these litigants put these monies into an educational trust fund for their children, could you imagine how many educated children, non-poverty children, we could have in the future? But instead we keep pushing people down. We keep holding them down. For the love of God, tell me why? Why? It's just ridiculous. It's just really ridiculous how we treat people. You know, I think if a judge or an attorney, they should be held accountable for their actions, and immediate sanctions should apply if they violate state law, if they violate federal law, if they violate their own code of ethics, if attorneys knowingly lie and fabricate evidence to the court to win support or custody over opposing litigants, these attorneys should be held to the highest standard and be removed from their profession. Removed. Some of these attorneys, if they don't like you and they're an unbundled attorney, the day of trial, they walk off your case and the judge allows that to happen, and now you're forced to represent yourself and you're not prepared. This is disgusting. This is a setup. This is uncalled for. And I think an attorney has a judicial responsibility to give sufficient notice to his client and to the court before walking off of a case in disgust. They owe it to their clients, you know. But we allow that to happen. Why do we allow it to happen? I don't know. What I don't understand is how we have DNA tested. And several cases I've seen, father is proven strike that. The person is proven not to be the father of the child. Not to be the father of the child. Not to be the father of the child. But yet, the judges still rule that they have to pay child support to a child that's biologically not theirs. Holy hell! How about that? Why do a DNA test then? I'm not making none of this stuff up. I'm not making none of this stuff up. These are things that I have seen. Reading briefs, motions, and watching videos of court cases and going to court myself and watching these and being a court observer. These are things that I've seen. And I find it unjust. I find it disgusting. And when a judge terminates a parent's rights, there should be evidence to support a judge's decision to do something like that. Neglect, abuse, evidence to support. Then I would agree, because I know all parents are not Mother Teresa. And I know some people shouldn't have kids. I know that. But when you arbitrarily take children away from their parent and no evidence to support your actions just because of a hearsay, accusation, allegation, that's not enough to terminate a parent's rights. It's not. But then we have a law that says that if you abandon your child for 6 months, your rights is going to be terminated. But a lot of these judges don't even follow that. They bring the child back in, bring the parent back into the child's life, and the child's like, who the hell are you? You left me 3 years ago. Now I have a loving mother, father that have adopted me, that fostered me for all these years, and you're going to throw me on these people that are strangers, that left me on the streets. You see, I don't think we're all on the same pattern. We're not all following the same sheet of music. Some judges follow the law, and some judges don't even know what the hell the law is. Some judges read the briefs, and some judges couldn't care less. It's disgusting. It really is. And in some instance, you got Department of Family Services that take away children without any evidence, without a hearing, and foster these children out. I think that's kidnapping, if you ask me. There should be some type of standards, and make sure that these DFS people, workers, have evidence to support what they're doing. You know? I'm sitting here on a Sunday at 11 o'clock at night talking to you about what's going on in family court. We need your help, people. Like I said, I am not a litigant in family court. I am a concerned citizen that's tired of the three monkeys. Hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. We need to stand up. Whether you're a mother, father, sister, brother, grandparent, cousin, aunt, uncle, distant cousin, neighbor, co-worker, we need to make it right. Because one day, if you're not touched by the corruption in family court today, or you haven't been touched before, one day, this could be you. And if it's not you, it could be somebody you love. And then I say, I told you so. Now, tomorrow, Monday, July 16th, we are having a protest in front of the Clark County Family Court, 601 North Pecos Road, corner of Bonanza and Pecos, between the hours of 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Come on out. Support this cause against the corruption in our family court system. Come support it. Come be around people with same thought process, people that are going through the same things, like-minded people. You're not alone in this situation. You're not alone. There are thousands of mothers and fathers that are going through this. Join us. Stand up and say no more. We did that with civil rights. We did that with women's rights. We did that with homosexuality. We did that with a lot of things. Let's do it in our family court system. Let's hold these judges accountable for their actions. Let's hold these attorneys accountable for their actions. Let's stand up. Let's stand up. Because one day, this could be you. Or somebody you love, somebody you care about, somebody you know. Why take your hard-earned dollars and throw it into a corrupt system when you could be taking those dollars and put into your child's educational plan, your child's educational program? And let me say this to mothers, fathers, even if you're not married and you found out that you have a child coming, or you have a child and you're unmarried, work it out. You want to be divorced? Work it out. Go to a paralegal and work out your differences and type it all up, submit it to the court, and make it become an order without you have to step into that courtroom and let a judge screw up your life, screw up your kid's life, because it will happen. Some judges get it right. Majority of them don't. Do you want to take that chance? Do you want to be a statistic? Do you want to put your children through that mess and that horror and that heartache? And you see, you walk into family court with a whole lot of money and you walk out bankrupt, and then you got to go to bankruptcy court, and then your child goes through the criminal process because now your child is rebelling, and you're feeling heartache, and now you have to seek counseling because you don't know how to deal with the stress. Do you really want to put yourself through this madness? We need to come together, folks. We need to stand up. We need to stand tall. We need to say no more. No more. Because one day it could be you. Again, join us Monday, July 16th, in front of the Clark County Courthouse, Family Courthouse, 601 North Pecos and Bonanza. At that intersection, we will be there between 8 and 10 a.m. This is Steve Sanson, President of Veterans in Politics International. You could go on our website, veteransinpolitics.org, or you could go to our Facebook page, War Declared Against Clark County Family Court, Nevada. Join us. Take action. Tell a friend. Spread the word. Be there. Because one day, this might be you.